gonna flop. My mind's about to pop. But enough of that noise. Time for the B-roll, boys.
Meow! Welcome back to another perfect episode.
Sorry, I had a hairball. Continue.
As I was saying, welcome back to another perfect episode of B-roll, boys.
That's good. That's good.
We've missed you. It's been exactly 1 week to the second since we last spoke about Blood Rain. And my name is Harlan. With me, I've got Wes.
That's me, I think.
And also Justin.
Hello.
And we're gonna talk about a movie we just watched, which is called it's called Catwoman, directed by Pete Oaf, as I like to refer to him.
Oh yeah. He's just got one name, just like Cher.
Yeah, of course.
It's just director Petoff.
Yes. Starring Halle Berry, came out in 2004, and you can tell it's very much one of those like early 2000s superhero movies. It's very much of that ilk.
I mean, it seems like a Daredevil clone.
Yeah, it's like has a lot of the same beats. But
it's way more fun.
Yeah, I had quite a bit of fun watching this. I'll get out of the way now. I do think it dragged ass a little bit towards the end.
Come on,
yeah, dude.
Toward the end. That's when all the come on.
That's when all the 500 million
down.
cuts of the fight scenes happen.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but before that, I'm talking about when it was like when we were at the hour 12-minute mark.
You knew. You just had that ready?
Yeah. And then I'm sorry, it was the hour 22-minute mark, and I was like, what the fuck? There's 20 minutes left, but there's still so much shit left to do. And like we're wasting time on like a date? Like what?
You get so excited about marking the timestamp of when you got bored that reinvigorates you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start timing when you get on your phone the whole time.
So this movie, if you couldn't tell, is about a woman
who becomes a cat.
Yes. She's otherkin, and she decides she's tired of her life as a human, and she decides she wants that feline.
Yeah. She wants to yiff. Yeah. She wants to go to FurryCon.
She embraces her fursona.
If you're working for an evil corporation as a graphic designer, you can become a cat.
As long as a cat burps in your mouth. Yeah.
Wasn't a burp.
I'm not kidding.
It was more of a belch.
No.
Wasn't a belch either.
Dude, what do you call that?
She misted
breathing.
Yeah.
Breathing mist.
Yeah.
She wasn't like...
So you know like the old stories of like the cat like jumping on you in the night and sucking out your soul is like the opposite of that. It gave her a soul.
It burped it into her mouth.
Yeah, it's like how my dumb fucking dog does when she jumps on my chest and like sneezes.
Okay. So the movie, right? Yeah,
if you can call it that.
I guess I think it's based off the DC Catwoman character loosely. I don't know like
I don't know shit about Catwoman.
Yeah, I know very little about DC, so I can't really tell you anything about how accurate
people like
this
the
is.
Tim Burton one.
I don't know that much about any of these superheroes, but I know like even less about Catwoman.
Yeah.
I at least have had like a baseline of knowledge about most of the Marvel ones.
In this house we worship Black Cat.
Black cat. Justin,
come on, give it up.
He's got titties on his wall.
Hell yeah, he does.
He's got mommy's milkies right there for the world to see.
Like his little jerk shrine.
Anyway, what we're talking about, I'm very distracted right now. So this movie is about Halle Berry, who plays Patience Phillips.
That's a name.
And it is.
It's a real person's name.
And
the real Patience Phillipses in the world are going to be like writing us hate mail and sending us anthrax and shit.
Yeah. Do you know what that means?
What?
Her initials are PP. It's good to be back.
We had a solid like 5 minutes of like dying laughing at a shit joke during this. Or maybe that was just me.
Just you.
I thought it was funny. The idea of hooking up with someone and then going to destroy their toilet, and then leave during the night.
After a very, very PG-13 implied sex.
It's so novel to me.
Is it weird with how many innuendos and how sexy literally everything is trying to be? The actual sex scene lasted 2 seconds.
This is a really horny movie, but like a preteen kind of horny. Like there's so much. It's just like it's like an hour and 40 minutes of adults dry humping. That's all this movie is.
I think this was specifically
Plus
catered
cat
to
puns.
Wes, because you said you were like 14 when this came out. You're sitting in the theater like, yeah, Destiny's Child.
This movie cemented my heterosexuality. It just like knocked me into that lane.
Like you were wavering into sin, and then they were like,
He was writing the script to Magic Mike, and then Catwoman came out, and he was like, nah.
Yeah, I threw that in the garbage, and someone stole it.
after he saw Halle Berry quite literally shake that thing around.
Like for half an hour.
Oh, she
That's
walks like a fucking belly dancer.
Her badonk is like a pendulum in a grandfather clock.
What an analogy.
Well, anyway, Harlan, how did she become the titular Catwoman?
Okay. We gotta start off with who Patience Phillips is.
Yeah, so she's like a graphic designer, I guess, working for like a makeup company, right?
The most evil makeup company ever.
Yeah,
it's like
as
the
of
Umbrella
course.
Corporation of makeup companies.
Basically.
Yeah. And yeah, like
Or just Amazon in real life.
I want to note for later that she just seems to be late for work for no reason. Like she's just running into work and she's like, "Oh, I'm late," and then she does a thing, and then
That's me every morning.
and then they're like, and then her boss is like, "You fucked up. It was a different. I wanted a different shade of red." And he's just being a real asshole, right?
He's mansplaining to her.
Yes. This movie has
There's a lot of empowerment in this movie.
agenda.
This color was supposed to be maroon
Dude,
5.
how many times did you and I clap and say "Queen" during this movie?
Like half of this.
Yeah, some
It's
powerful
like,
moments.
It's like a pseudo female empowerment fantasy while also
being really objectified.
Them.
Yeah, like which is it? Like, what do you want? Yeah. So and then
It's like a porn where they're like, I choose to do it.
and she hates work, and the only good thing about work is her friend Sally.
Are you kidding me? Look at that office. That office is cool as shit.
The office is cool, but yeah, her best friend is Alex Borstein, which is Lois from Family Guy.
Yeah, so she's like, "Oh, Patience. Look at how hot this guy is." That's like her entire character is just talking about how hot these guys are.
She wants to fuck more than Catwoman does.
She's like, "Oh, Peter, the mailman is so hot. He forked me so good."
Oh, Peter.
Hey, Peter. This is sexier than the time that I took out the garbage, and I don't know.
With Alec Baldwin.
So yeah, she hates work, and then she goes home, right?
I feel that.
Hell yeah.
And there's a cat on, like, she lives in an apartment, and there's a cat, like, on the ledge outside her window, like, on, like, several stories up. And she's never seen this cat before, right?
The overarch on one story up, but it's like and barely enough for her to be able to reach.
And but she like climbs out on the ledge to try and get this cat, right? And then she idles over and she puts her entire weight on her window AC unit.
You never done that?
I can't say that I have.
Oh.
I put way too much work into installing a window AC to put my fucking body weight on it.
That's true.
Yeah.
For a cat. Knock it off and let God handle it.
What are we talking about for a cat?
Yeah.
Cats are God's creatures.
They get up and like do annoying shit in high places and they make noise.
You're just gonna talk this shit about cats after my cat came and snuggled in your lap during the movie?
What?
Yeah, and then gave me shit eyes the whole time.
That was pretty funny. She
was
just gave
great.
Justin a death stare for no reason.
Because she fucking knows. She knows you hate cats.
I had the audacity to pet her and she just was like, buck up. Cube up.
You were petting her and not the right way. There's a specific way to do
barely
it.
touched her. You know what?
Exactly.
Fuck cats.
You just- what?
Cats are the pickiest little fucks that I've ever seen. If you like roll the dice and you get a shitty cat, you can't do anything about it. You can't train it. You can't make it any different. They're just gonna be cunts forever.
Justin, what cat
Fuck
hurt
cats.
you? Cats are wonderful, beautiful
Well, you can
creatures.
tell what your cat's gonna be like when you get them. Like Jean has been super affectionate since day fucking one.
To
man.
you.
Yeah.
She is. Well,
can't
that
scratch
no,
me
you were
before.
just petting her wrong, man. There's a way to do
What?
it.
Okay, what am I
She can
supposed to
sense
do?
your
Do I get
animal-
the fucking owner's manual to see how to pet this asshole cat correctly?
She can
Fuck.
sense your
You were-
animosity towards the
No,
cat.
I didn't like finger its asshole. I just barely touched her.
Why are you
And she was
fingering
like,
cats, Justin?
she was like, "Cube up, son."
No, I saw you were.
I could throw Ripley against the wall and she would love it.
Yeah, because dogs are fucking stupid.
Yeah,
Especially
they're great. I didn't get her to do fucking calculus.
And that's why you get a cat.
Cats make
Fuck
you feel
cats.
smart. No, you were petting her on because you started like in the middle of your back. You're supposed to start at her head and go back.
B-roll boys as
my
a
God,
whole entity.
Fuck me. Excuse
loves
me, I
and
didn't
appreciates
major in
cats.
cats.
Okay, so the movie.
Harlan!
We love cats here, right?
So the movie.
Fuck you,
I don't.
Justin.
I'm neutral negative on cats.
Cats are number one.
Wait, Cats the movie? Okay.
Cats rule, dogs drool.
At some point, I'm probably going to be getting a cat, and I'll like it because it'll be mine, and cats are good to their owners, and then pricks to everybody else.
That's not true.
Yeah, it is.
It's not true.
Yeah, it
You
is.
just didn't pass the vibe check,
You just have
man.
a good cat.
Again, I guess you just have to roll the dice and hope that you get one of God's cats.
it's because they can sense your animosity, dude.
I didn't have any animosity. I was sitting there. We were making poop jokes.
As I said, you weren't petting her right. But the movie, okay.
Oh yeah, what's up?
Sorry, I was too busy dry humping how horny this movie was.
Okay.
We're all just covering up how much we were jerking off.
So, yeah.
Why do you have so many blankets downstairs?
You know what?
They're ruined now.
So she saves the cat, right?
It's like a sarcophagus of cum.
That's a sentence.
Your blankets look like Carlsbad Caverns.
So the movie.
Yeah.
So she saves the cat, right?
Yeah.
And then,
Thank God.
and then I don't know why, but she goes to the R&D facility of the company she works for, right? Because we see her office earlier, and like she just works in like a normal building in the middle of the city. But like later, she goes to work overtime. She goes to work the night shift, but it's like the R&D place, you know? Like she like walks into like a lab where they're like working on shit, you know?
It doesn't explain why she went there, right? Because
Yeah,
he was like he was gonna fire her because she fucked up one of their posters or something, and she had
Yeah.
to fix it. But then she just went there overnight instead of just turning it in the next day.
Well, and not to mention, why turn it in at the R&D place? Like, I really doubt that all three of us missed why she was there, you know?
I think it's a high, fairly likely.
Yeah, maybe.
You know what? I guess we just got to watch it again.
Still don't
That
know.
was as low hanging of a fruit as half the jokes in this movie.
Yeah, but at least we're aware about it.
Yeah. If we make it ironic, it's fine.
Yeah.
That's true.
But yeah, so she wanders into this fucking lab, and there are these two dudes.
Which has no security, by the way. I'm sorry. As a security guy, I just gotta say.
Oh yeah, she blasted through all of these
The
doors.
back door is literally unlocked.
Yeah, it's like
and then
she
goes
didn't even
through,
try.
and she goes through several other doors, and like not one of them has a badge check.
There is no fucking way that
yeah, and
none
then-
of those doors have a badge check.
This is supposed to be like top secret because they reveal that this makeup is, I guess it's just really toxic for your skin. It turns you into like reptile. So then she
For Mortal Kombat.
yeah. So she hears them and then they start to kill her. It's like, what if a homeless person just like wandered in? Like you just fucking kill him?
Yeah, I was wondering
they
that too.
saw
Like
too much, you have to.
with how trigger happy their hired security is. Like, yeah, you'd think they'd like try to keep people out in the first place, but I guess they're like, oops,
They
you
don't
got
even
in.
have like a guard at the door or anything.
Yeah.
It's just they're out to lunch, I guess. I guess
These
yeah,
security
why
guards,
did she take the back door to get in? Like,
There's many questions there.
like they had a front door and she just didn't use it for some
somehow
reason.
I guess she gets to like their drainage system and
Well, yeah, they're
they
they're
basically-
chasing her. Yeah, and then they literally flush her out the sewer.
yeah, and so she dies.
Just
We're
because
supposed to be told.
Oh yeah, because that's how the movie starts, is her floating in the water, and she's like, "This is the story of how I died, but the day that I died was the day that I started to live." And you're supposed to be like, "Ooh,
Wow, that
what a
draws
poetic,
me in as an
what
audience
yeah, what an
member.
interesting sentence."
Wow. But yeah, then she goes to the Isle of the Cats, I guess, and they all just
Yeah, I
kind
guess
of...
they dragged her body ashore somehow.
Yeah, she's like covered in shit, and they drag her ashore somehow to like this toxic waste dump. And then this cat, this horrible looking CGI cat. Why? This horrible looking CGI cat just like breathes mist into her mouth, and then she's cat. Well,
it burps in her mouth. I'm gonna
burp.
stand
It
by
was just
that.
like,
Did you hear an audible burp, Harlan? That cat was just like. It was just
I
like
don't know what to call that when it's like a visible gas, you know?
it's like breathing air. It's like giving her CPR, but with like
cats are too
souls.
hoity-toity to burp.
my cat has burped in my face,
That's awesome.
and I have no powers to show for it.
That's unfortunate.
Burp
It is
in my dog's
unfortunate. You'd
face
think
all
she
the
could at
time.
least
It's a power thing.
do me the favor of giving me powers, but
Well, you have to die first.
be right back. Okay, so yeah, she gets burped on, and then she goes home, and you see that, like, I really don't know where to go from here, you know, because
she basically like jumps through the window of her apartment because she's bounding around like a cat, and then wakes up in one of her like Art Deco hanging shelves.
That's another thing I don't understand, because at first, like through the whole first half of the movie, I guess most of the movie, it treats it like a Jekyll and Hyde type thing, where like at first she doesn't realize that she's like catting out in the night.
Finna cat.
Yeah, but then she has bursts of Catwoman like during the day, like when she like nanate her boss,
and literally everyone clapped.
Yeah.
No, yeah, she like
no you.
Yeah, her catness clearly affects her personality, because she starts like standing up for herself, but then being like, I don't know why I said that. Sorry. She tells off her boss, and then literally everyone in the office claps.
They wait for him to leave first, though.
Yeah.
And then
But what's the point of waiting for him to leave? Like, he's gonna hear them clapping.
Yeah, do you think he was just like sitting on the other side of the wall waiting to hear what was going to happen? And then they started clapping.
And they're all like, Queen!
Yeah, they started shedding tears. Like big crocodile tears.
Yeah. Then she goes and gets like a Karen haircut.
Yeah, she has a real like boss queen moment. You know, she gets her makeup, and she goes out because she saw earlier on the street, she saw a piece of jewelry in the window. And I guess when she has her cat, spree at night, she like goes, I guess, to steal it. But she just happens to find people already in the jewelry store robbing the place. And so she's like, oh, well, I guess I'm going to stop this thievery that I was planning to partake in myself. And so she like goes in and just, it's a real leap from where she was before. Because before, like, her cat powers, the only extent that we'd seen it to was just like, she just like balances on a thing. But now she's like scooting on the walls, you know.
It's a Spider-Man bit.
Yeah, pretty much.
Kinda. Well, like also in the halfway through the movie, she's like eating tuna out of cans and like just doing all kinds of like cat shit.
Yeah, they really lean into the cat
like,
shit. Not the cat shit.
They ranked her a little too high on the furry scale.
Oh, she's totally a furry.
Like, scale number 1, you have a human, and then like number 5 is like a literal cat. She's like number 4.
And she makes just like every
3 at most.
Every trite cat joke you can think of is in this. There's like a cat got your tongue.
Oh yeah, there's cat got your tongue. Perfect. You know, look what the cat dragged in. Any cat pun you can think of is in this movie.
And that's a good thing.
Oh, and she also, the guy that saves her from almost falling off of her window AC unit is this cop, who we never see in really anything but a leather jacket.
Yeah.
Like, is he off duty, or is that just like his thing? He's like Mr. Orange. He's just a cool undercover cop.
Well, because like in movies, he's probably a detective. If you're a detective, I guess you can just dress however the fuck you want.
Yeah, you got to dress like a fucking rock star, I guess. Yeah. But yeah, so they go on like a couple dates.
They go on 2 dates.
Well,
and then fuck.
She challenges
and then he destroys
him.
her toilet.
Yeah, he F's her and then leaves an upper decker.
Well, no, like we gotta talk about the basketball scene, because they're passing by this like inner city basketball court, and some kid that looks like he's been playing Tony Hawk Pro Skater is like, "Hey man, you want to hoop?"
Yeah, he challenges them to a 1-on-1 for some reason.
And then they like,
and then they
dry choreographed
hump.
like dance routine, dry humping to like Destiny's Child.
Yeah, then all the kids are like, "What the fuck?" And they walk away.
It's the weirdest fucking thing, like, because it starts off and Patience is just like throwing the basketball between her hands, and the camera she's just like so amused with herself. It's hilarious. I can't describe it, but it's really funny. And then they like literally end up dry humping in the basketball court in front of all these middle schoolers. It's really awkward.
They're on a list now.
And again, we can talk about the absolutely atrocious camera work and editing. There are so many fucking cuts.
We tried to count it at one point. One particular fight scene we tried to count, and we just could not keep up.
Yeah, that shit, like that 1 5-minute fight scene had more cuts than like an Oliver Stone movie. It just like kept going, just like every millisecond.
And like there's so many like the cuts don't fit together either. Like the camera will just be sweeping in different directions, so it's just kind of all over the place. It's almost like an epilepsy warning. There's one part where Harlan legitimately said there should be an epilepsy warning.
Yeah, because she went to a nightclub and they turned on the strobe effect, and like I had been joking about needing some sort of like, you know, seizure or epilepsy warning, and then I saw the strobe and I was like, okay, like the strobe and the cuts now, like come on, man.
Yeah, and for like something as innocuous as a fucking basketball scene.
Yeah,
not just that, the whole movie, like everything is just uncomfortably close, and there's just close-up shots of everything.
The camera's like twisting and turning all over the place, and just none of it feels motivated at all.
And especially when it's present for the most mundane things, like relatively speaking, like she takes down one goon, like just one nameless bad guy, and there's like 7 fucking cuts for it, and I'm like, how am I supposed to feel like she's a badass when she needs to put in this much effort, and they need to put in this many cuts for her to take down one guy?
Yeah.
That guy would have been one uncut braining in Daredevil.
Yeah, that's true. The good Daredevil.
Yeah, the good Daredevil.
There we go.
The one
he just said it. He said good Daredevil.
I loved season 1.
You're gonna love season 3. God damn it, guys! Watch season 3. It's so good.
Netflix.
Well,
You have mine now.
Oh yeah.
You have no excuse.
but you haven't seen it yet either. Anyway, so the movie. So after she Catwoman's out on the night for the first time, I think we have to have the obligatory like research scene where she goes to some Google stand-in, and I swear to God, what she searches is cats.women.
No, it's 100%.
Of course, she doesn't find anything. You know what? I'm gonna search cats.women right now and see what I find.
All right.
You can't search it on Google. You got to use like Hotbot or whatever she was using.
This is 2004. This is Ask Jeeves territory.
Go to ask.com.
Cats.women.
All right, he's doing it. He's
Cats and women. Why the connection? Biodiversity heritage.
Why women love cats and the world fears feline friendships. Okay.
So this is what she
Does
found.
the world fear feline friendships?
I don't know. I don't think so. I always thought that cat ladies were like fairly harmless. Supposed to be their whole thing. They just kind of vibe and hang out.
So speaking of cat ladies, so somehow in her research she finds a Catwoman across town, and she goes to see her, and this is where it's explained that like
this is like the cat sage.
Yeah, this is where it's explained that I guess like Catwoman is like a title, I guess that's been passed down through centuries or something.
For some reason, she's in protection of these cats.
Oh, and did we talk about Midnight earlier, the cat that she rescued?
The horrible CGI one.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she rescues this cat on her ledge, and it belongs to this cat sage who she meets later. And she explains that like that was a test. She was like, yeah, Midnight, my cat, was testing you to see if you're worthy to become the Catwoman. And that's a really shitty test, but
any stupid asshole, it's gonna like balance themselves outside of their window and almost die.
Well, like is that all there is to being a good person? Is like okay, sure.
Just stupid.
Yeah, and they even take it so far as to like throw catnip at Callie Berry, and she like just like fucking bugs on it.
Yeah, stuffs into her face.
Yeah. And then from there the plot is just kind of about like there's like a conspiracy for like the I guess the top guy at the makeup company who's in on the makeup being bad, and then his wife kills him because she's all upset because she was a model but she turned 40, and so now nobody wants to
he fucked her over
anymore, I guess. I don't know. It was like I really did not understand that.
I think it's supposed to be, and I'm reading into this with my horrible, like, maldeveloped male brain. I think it's supposed to, in a very ham-fisted way, talk about, like, unrealistic beauty standards for women, and how there's an especially toxic emphasis on, like, aging for women, about how, like, oh, you're not relevant anymore. And I think that that's a very, like, poignant point to make in any other fucking movie but Catwoman.
True.
Where the entire thing is like low angle sweeps of Halle Berry's ass.
Yeah, this movie very much can't decide if it wants to objectify her or empower her.
You can't have your cake and eat it too.
Yeah, make up your mind, man.
But
well, even
yeah,
then, like,
I think that's an interesting point to make, but this is way too stupid of a movie to make it.
Well, and I think they were also that was supposed to be like her motivation as a villain, because like she murders her husband, and then like explains like, oh, once I turned 40, nobody wanted to hire me as a model anymore. And then that somehow turns into, I have to keep pumping out this makeup so that everyone uses it. This makeup that I know like actively hurts people's skin. Like, what is the
maybe
connection
it's
there?
like to get even with everybody or get even with the society, man. But I don't know. As far as like corporate conspiracies go, it's pretty weak.
Yeah, it just didn't make sense to me.
This particular like beauty product is bad for your skin. Yeah, get in line. So are all of them.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Having these shampoos in the stores will make your hair fall out and shit. It's like, okay.
yeah.
People are cool with that though.
Then don't get garbage. I don't know.
Oh, and also speaking of the villain, like, so she fights Catwoman at the end of the movie, and she's like holding her own against Catwoman, and like, does she have superpowers? Earlier in the movie, she gets like slapped by her husband before she kills him, and it like seems to hurt his hand, implying that she just has like super tough skin. I guess, I don't know.
She's like, I'm brickhead.
It's
They don't explain it. Like, did she have like a special batch of the makeup, or is it because
like,
she's been using it the longest because she's been the guinea pig for it?
Yeah, because like, okay,
defense.
if the makeup gave her superpowers, A, why did it give her superpowers? B, why does nobody else have superpowers?
Yeah,
because like her,
why does
like,
she turn into Tombstone for no reason?
Yeah, because fucking Sally Wallace, she gets hospitalized from using the makeup, and
She just for like 2 days and just passes out.
yeah, just literally falls in the street. So why?
Yeah, then she bangs her doctor.
Yeah.
Yeah, because literally anytime
That's
she's
a
on
fucking queen moment.
anytime she's on camera, she has to talk about a hot guy. That's all her character is. It's really annoying.
But anyway, empowering.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. At least it's like an actual queen moment.
Yeah.
The next thing I want to talk about is the Catwoman suit. Because the first time she goes out,
There's less and less of it the whole movie.
the first time she goes out, like as Catwoman, and she stops that jewelry store robbery, she's wearing like a full leather suit, and like very little skin is showing, and like it's a pretty like it's very, you know, it's like it's all right, you know, it's fine, it's very passable, right? But it looks a lot like her Storm costume in X-Men. Imagine that.
Weird.
But so then after she goes and meets Cat Sage and she gets the cat mask from her, she I guess like fully embraces her persona, and she gets a new outfit at some point off screen, and it's literally like tattered leather, and like she's barely covered at all, and she has like this X strap of leather across her stomach, but besides that, like she's maybe like 20% of her body is covered.
I don't think she would be allowed in the furry community. First off, her persona's weak. Catwoman? Okay.
Yeah, come on. Why not, like,
It should be like fur star sparkle or something like that. And then she doesn't have any fur on her suit. It's just weak.
Yeah.
She would never be a furry con.
Yeah, I agree. She couldn't be in the FurryCon orgies.
Not that I have ever
Shout out
been.
to my boys at FurryCon.
Yeah, FurryCon. You know who you are, Paul.
We made jokes about like B-roll boys at live at BronyCon.
We're at all the cons we shouldn't be at.
You want to go to InfoWars Con and just like Eric Andre that shit?
Yeah, come see us as we ogle Sean Schimmel from Dragon Ball.
Another scene I want to talk about is just it's set up earlier in the movie that like her neighbors across the alley play loud music all night long.
They play Shinedown so loud.
Yeah, it seems to be like
Booba stank.
it seems to be a house party of like bikers, and then once she gets her cat empowerment, she gets the balls to go over there and like confront them and tell them to turn the music down. And she gets in, like she literally busts the door down, and you find out it's a bar. Like,
yeah.
There's a
It's like
bar.
a high-rise bar.
yeah, it's like several stories up, and it looks like an apartment complex. But yeah, like they have
definitely a bar.
They have a bar sign, and they have like giant speakers mounted to the ceiling. Like
She sprays beer into them like an animal.
yeah, I don't know. I just thought that was
meows at
really
them.
weird that her neighbor across the alley was a bar.
Yeah, she broke in, beat the shit out of them, then went home. First off, they know where she lives. She broke into their
shit where you
business
eat.
and was accosting customers.
Yeah,
She'd be hauled off to jail.
but like, who was there first? You know, did they move in? Did she move
Maybe
in?
it was
after?
just a bar sign.
I find that really unlikely, considering they had the tap.
Yeah, they had like
Well, it was
taps
just
in the bar.
It was just a keg, though. Like parties have kegs. It's like maybe they just had a bar sign, but the point.
I don't know, the speakers
these
on the ceiling
dickheads
fan.
are partying like they've got their speakers on 11 at like 4:00 in the morning, and the first time that she asks them to stop, the first time that she tries, it's like across the alley, and they just don't acknowledge her. And then she asks again, like, hey, turn it down. And they're like, fuck you, loser. And then she goes over there and beats the shit out of them and sprays beer to their speakers. And they're like, oh, no, we can't play, like, I don't know, name an early 2000s rock band. P.O.D.
Limp Bizkit.
Oh, our Breaking Benjamin records, bro.
Not my Papa Roach.
They're sitting there, oh, dude, she broke stuff.
Bro, we can't listen to Phobia now. You know what? I feel so alive for the very first time.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was one of her. And she's like hissing at people. And hissing
They
at
really
dogs.
like every cat
It's
thing you can think of.
laughable.
They really like just have to do it. They really can't help themselves.
Yeah.
She like hisses at dogs in the streets. She sleeps in weird places. You know, she like steals things and takes them home.
And takes them
with,
back.
With every cat thing you can think of that she does, literally the only thing they didn't show her do was shitting in a litter box.
They didn't show her licking herself. Well, they showed her being afraid of rain, so it kind of implies that I guess she's just never going to take a shower or a bath again. For some dudes is a plus.
No, because this movie has absolutely no restraint at all. So when she's about to make out with this cop guy, it starts raining. And right as they start making out, it's pouring rain, bro.
Hell yeah, dude.
I don't get it.
Then she wakes up in the middle of the night and he wasn't there. It's like, oh, he left. But then she just hears him destroying her toilet from the other room.
Seriously,
Never mind.
Where'd he go?
Sigma male moment. Go to woman house. Fuck. Destroy toilet. Leave. Explain nothing.
Then she looks at the door while he's just fucking planting one, smiling that he's still there.
He's upper deckering. That's his calling card.
I've missed you guys.
Yeah, on that note he left her in the kitchen, you've been decked. And then he's just gone.
Get decked looser.
Can we talk about another... Okay, maybe this may be bold. Let's talk about another bad thing. Did you guys
say that?
I know, right? Did you guys like how every single like scene transition they would do like a hovering shot over a CG city, and it happened like every couple minutes?
And also every single one featured like some like Destiny's Child-esque type of music.
I love the soundtrack. It's so fucking bopping for no reason.
They just had, like,
it doesn't fit the mood at all.
It doesn't. Like it's yeah, she's like stopping a robbery or she's beating up some thugs, and yeah, it's just Beyonce
Pops out for a CG city shot. And they basically just like are flying a camera through Spider-Man 2 on GameCube.
It looks so bad.
You know, it's crazy how many like full CGI shots of Halle Berry there are. It's like, did they really think that would stand the test of time?
Yeah, they were like, Matrix Reloaded looked so good with the CG Neo. I guess we can just do that for every scene. It didn't look good.
I mean, there are even ones that like there's one in particular that's in my mind where it's just like it could have transitioned into real Halle Berry because she's just like crouching looking at the camera, and I was like, that is a CGI Halle Berry. Why is that CGI? That is such a simple thing to do. Just have her pose in front of the camera. Why the fuck is that CGI? Yeah,
maybe she didn't want to get dressed. It must be really hard to put that
apparently
suit
she
on.
hated the costume, to no one's surprise.
I
I
would
imagine
hope so.
so.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, that had to be the most uncomfortable thing to pretend to do spin kicks in ever. She's doing like Eddie Tekken moves at the end.
Full-on Eddie Gordo combos. Question.
What's up?
What's with the whip?
Yeah, why does she have a bullwhip?
She gave her a
Why
bullwhip.
didn't she ghost ride it?
She originally like they foreshadowed the whip when she crashed the biker party and she took their like beer tap and like whipped them with the hose.
Yeah, I mean,
I was like, I vaguely remember that Catwoman's supposed to have a whip.
But she got it from the cat sage, right? Like, is it supposed to be like an extension of like her
Did
cat
she?
tail?
I don't know. It seemed like she just had it out of nowhere at one point.
She's
Oh,
just a
maybe-
savant
I
of,
thought the
like,
only thing she got
bullwhip.
from the sage was just her mask.
Oh, maybe. Well, maybe it's a picture like of her.
And it
having
wasn't
a
even the
whip.
same mask
This movie's smart.
she was wearing.
Yeah, she modded it.
She picked a different skin.
Got the pre-order bonus.
I mean,
I want to talk about one of the dates she went
Carnival?
on with she goes to like
my
a really
God, this fucking
she goes
carnival.
to a really shitty back alley carnival.
This is the worst carnival
looks like
I've
shit.
like
ever seen.
all they have is like 3 tents with like some games, and then a Ferris wheel that I guess is like the shittiest Ferris wheel ever, because like they get up and they're at the top and it stops, right?
It's like Six Flags.
and then like it starts like it jolts a little bit and they're like, oh, I'm sure that was nothing, and then it literally just falls apart. Like it starts rocking and they're like, oh no. And then the cop like hops out of their cart and he starts like, parkouring down to try and like, I don't know what he did to stop it, but he like somehow stopped it from breaking.
Like if there's not at least 3 deaths in a carnival per day, then like the spice is gone.
But like even like not only did like the Ferris wheel itself just break, but like at the exact same time, this kid in a separate cart by himself, his rail just breaks off for no reason.
The whole thing just starts falling
like
apart.
Literally this
like
Ferris,
its Final Destination.
Yeah, this entire Ferris wheel is just falling apart at the seams. Like, what brought this on? Okay, so
Yeah, right after they save the day, everyone's just walking around the grounds like it's just absolutely normal.
yeah,
they're like, that was weird. Let's get some funnel cake.
like they literally almost died. And they're like, oh, anyway,
That near-death experience made me hungry.
that's certainly not up to code, but I'll allow it.
A child almost died. And he was like,
That's weird. I paid $3 to get in here.
No, nobody wants to like talk or get a picture with the people who literally just like parkoured across a Ferris wheel to save lives.
Oh man, it's just New York.
Yeah,
That's what happens.
yeah. There's the subplot of their romance. Yeah, like we alluded to, like, because he's a cop, and so as a vigilante, like he's trying to hunt her, not knowing that it's his love interest, and then he finds out, and then
And he puts the pieces together because when she robs that jewelry store, she returns all the jewelry in a paper bag that says sorry written on it. And then she also wrote sorry on the coffee that she brought him after he saved her from a very preventable death. and he's like, he has to put his thinking cap on. He's like,
Wait a second, these sorries look the same.
But then they have like somebody at the police department like professionally like analyze the 2 separate,
yeah, it's like
Handwritings?
Minority Report.
and he's like, no, it's 2 different people.
Yeah, it was so
What is it-
stupid.
what
Like
does he say?
they look, the 2 sorry notes, they look identical, but one of the R's looks slightly off, and he's like, oh no, see, you can tell a lot from a person's handwriting. This one you can tell she's lonely and longing, and this other one she's like a party animal.
Go the fuck outside.
It's like they look the exact same.
You don't think that's worth looking into?
It's like, nah, that can't be her.
Yeah.
Got some Death Note logic going on here.
Yeah. L, he is not.
So yeah, she fights the bad guy woman and
Beats the bad guy woman.
And yeah, she falls out a window to her death and flips like 20 times on her way down. It's really funny.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's about it.
Don't worry. Halle Berry always lands on her feet.
Well, I do want to talk about how when like she's in police custody because they find evidence that she is Catwoman, and she's also like framed for the murder of the bad guy earlier. I know I'm kind of jumping around
And
a lot
it's
here,
also
but like,
just so blatantly fucking obvious she's Catwoman because you can see her whole face.
yeah, that too.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
It's
yeah,
like one of those little like
Masquerade mask.
masquerade masks.
yeah. So they got her like at they've got her in a jail cell, and she's like, wait, I'm part cat, and so she literally just slides through the bars. She sneaks out and then like yeets headfirst out a window, lands on her feet from at least 2 stories up, and then a car like rams her in the butt, and then she turns around. It's a Jaguar, and
She carjacks this guy.
and she turns around and she caresses the Jaguar statue on the hood ornament, and I think the implication is that she got pegged by this hood ornament. Yeah, and then yeah, she steals the car. It's like she's an anti-hero, but like it's not clear like if she has any sort of code. And I get that's the point. They're like, oh, she's a cat. She does what she wants when she wants.
Ambiguous, man. She doesn't fit in your
whatever.
binary of good and evil, man. This is a libertarian fucking superhero, man.
I don't think it's any of that, Justin.
Yeah.
You fucking stupid.
Well, I mean, that's all I got.
I think that's all I got. Yeah.
I mean,
we're skipping around a lot, but like, what do you want from me, man? Like,
It's fucking Catwoman. Just watch it.
it's an hour and 44 minutes, and it's like I said, it's like
On HBO Max, it's fun.
it's almost 2 hours of dry humping and cat puns and really corny, poorly edited fights.
Very dated music.
And camera edits and angles that'll just make you sick through the whole
A lot
thing.
of like
Watch it.
Destiny's Child and
Take an
Spice
Advil
Girls type
before you-
shit.
Take an Advil. If you already have HBO, watch it. Otherwise, just forget
Get
about
drunk
it.
for this. That'd be fun.
Oh, yeah. There you go. Take a
Yeah,
shot
so
for every feet shot.
It's a good one to watch with friends.
Take a shot for every cut. What's your good thing?
I have one.
Go.
Okay.
Buy me some
Kinda.
time.
I guess it's almost a cop out, but considering just how bad like all the graphics are in the whole movie and how falling from buildings to your death scenes are usually shitty in movies, this one actually looked pretty good. It showed her
Except for how she flipped like 10 times. And
except
made it
how
funny.
she flipped,
Hysterical.
except
We
how
laughed.
she flipped, but like when she was falling, it
Main,
showed
like,
her
villain
crash
lady.
through a roof and then land on the ground and actually showed all that, and I was kind of surprised that they did that. So
Yeah.
Well, because if it was a rated R movie, if this was like Martin Scorsese, she would have exploded into a cloud of blood.
I mean, it basically looked like the fall from Constantine, which also looked good. But yeah, I'll give it that one. A little reaching, but you know.
What's your good thing?
Arlen?
Oh,
he's got one. I can
the
tell.
first Catwoman suit that she wore before she got her tattered one, and fully embraced her persona. That one, I mean, yeah, it's pretty much just her outfit from the X-Men movies, but I mean, yeah, it's passable.
I love the soundtrack.
What's wrong with you?
This is
But
so
do you love it
fucking-
ironically?
I don't really know or not.
Yeah, it's tough to say.
And like the whole thing was just like, no, that's what I call music volume.
Yeah. It was fun. It's like such a perfect time capsule of this movie.
That's
Like
fair.
if I was gonna have kids and show, hey, you want to see how brain dead the early and mid 2000s were?
At least
you
it
want to
was-
see Bush era America? Let's watch Catwoman.
At least the music was a little bit more obscure, because like Daredevil was just like straight up the most popular nu metal they could find.
That's true.
Yeah, like that was just like so stupid that it was lame. This was kind of like, I don't know, it was funny.
Yeah.
And not in like a, oh, I'm making fun of it kind of way. It was like, I don't know. I guess it was kind of perfect. I said earlier that it didn't fit the tone, but I think it totally did, actually. For how dumb this movie's trying to be. Question mark.
All right.
While we meander through this like female empowerment tale while also zooming in on their asses while we do it.
Speaking of meandering, Harlan, what's your good thing?
You said it was a good thing.
Didn't I? Just say it? Yeah.
What would you
It
give
wasn't
it out
good
of 10?
enough for me. I guess that's one.
Out of 10, I give this, or here, let's count down from 3 and say, so we don't influence each other. I'm going to say 3, 2, 1, go. 3, 2, 1, 3.
4.
I was gonna say 4.
4 because of pure
didn't-
entertainment value.
You didn't say go. You said you were gonna say go.
I said 3, 2, 1, then 3.
Usually supposed to do like 3,
But you
2,
said you were
1,
gonna say
go.
3, 2, 1, go. Yeah.
Yeah.
You said you were gonna say go, and then you
No,
didn't.
it's not 3, 2, 1, go, and then say
you
it's
mean
3,
like
2,
on
1,
go.
and then, yes.
Okay.
Well, that's unclear.
Yeah. All right. 3, 2, 1,
3.
4.
4.
You guys are dumb.
I'm gonna go
Are
with
you
a 3.
raising barns?
No, I'm gonna go with a 3 as well. Actually,
4 or just the
it was
entertainment
longer
value.
than it was longer than it needed to be.
It was a little longer than it needed to be, but I don't know.
Like I
It
think
was
you
a
could.
headache to watch,
That
but
too,
like,
that
at least
too.
it was funny.
There was one point I would have given it a 2, but just so much stupid entertaining shit happened, it bumps it up to a 4.
As far as like
I guess-
competency as a film, it's like garbage.
I feel like this is another one that we could do a split rating on. Like from a movie perspective, I'd probably say 3, but entertainment value probably like a 6.
Yeah, like I
I'd
said,
give
this
it like a
would be
6.5.
This is a very fun movie to watch with others.
Yeah.
You know.
I would have just like giggled a couple times at this by myself probably,
Yeah.
but instead we were making poop jokes the whole time, so that made it like,
What do you mean we?
huh?
Yeah, Harlan, you were talking about poop the whole time.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how regular you are.
Trivia.
Trivia.
Actually, I have some fairly interesting bits
Trivia.
to share with
All
you.
right.
Uh,
Learn us.
Yes, I will. A rough cut of the trailer was put online a few months before the film's release and drew such heavy criticism that it was quickly pulled. It was soon replaced with a new trailer which didn't feature any dialogue.
And then they didn't do any reshoots and released the movie anyway.
Well, they did.
Oh, okay.
We'll get to that.
Ooh.
What's right here, actually. The movie had to undergo reshoots after testing poorly with screeners, with only a month left before the theatrical release date,
So this was the best version.
I guess.
That is what you call crunch
They
time.
reshooted with 1 month to spare. Jesus Christ.
See, that just shows how fast they could make a movie.
Okay. So this one is interesting just because so we didn't mention when she's doing her research on search.net or whatever for cats. She looks through some pictures of like cats throughout history, and she sees this one, and she's like, it's Midnight, the cat that she rescued earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Because no cats have ever looked alike.
Exactly. She was like, that's Midnight. I'm like, why are you so sure of that? Have you never seen two cats that look alike? Yeah.
That was also like 5,000 years ago.
So yeah, because of that, I just thought it was really interesting that 3 Egyptian Mao cats played the role of Midnight.
Yeah, this isn't like fucking Boris Karloff or something. It's a cat. They all look the same.
Plus, do you count the CG cat as another Mao?
I guess not.
Because like it was CG half the time.
Yeah.
That one cat specifically. All the other ones are real. Go on.
A newspaper reported that Sharon Stone's cell phone rang in the middle of filming a scene, and she took the call, holding up filming for a time. Just to show you how people felt on set.
I don't give a fuck. Please get me out of this for 5 minutes.
The scene where Patience tries to rescue Midnight from the ledge and is then saved by Tom Lone when she nearly falls was originally supposed to be the opening scene of the film. This is why she's working on her graphic design to turn in that same day, and why she's in a hurry bumping into people on her way to work in the final cut. This resulted in a continuity error, as moving the scenes around made it seem like all the characters and extras were wearing the same clothes they did the day before. I thought that was really interesting because, like, I noticed that while watching the movie. Like, she goes and to work, gets yelled at, goes home, rescues the cat, goes to sleep, and then like the next day she's wearing the same thing, and I
just thought she was grody.
Yeah, it almost works for the character.
Her boss said something about like how he said he insulted her wardrobe, and I was like, yeah, no wonder you don't have a wardrobe. You have one outfit. You're wearing the same thing you wore yesterday. And yeah, apparently it's because they jumbled the scenes around after it was done.
I guess it almost works for her character though, because it just kind of shows her like being a slob. I guess I don't know.
Yeah, she's very messy before she gets catified.
She
Before she gets
smells.
messy. Sorry.
So yeah, that's Catwoman for you.
That is Catwoman.
What are we watching next week?
Well, spooky season is quickly approaching. And I felt like...
We're a week into it.
Oh, yeah. Well, anyway. So, I'm going to travel back to the 70s, and we're going to pull out a really cheesy gem. Phantasm.
I haven't seen Phantasm.
I know nothing about it.
Oh, I'm excited I get to show it to you boys, because
Yeah.
it's
Hell yeah.
it's revered as a classic, but it's fucking stupid. I really enjoy it, though.
That's a few. I'm excited. All right. Well, thanks for listening. We'll catch you
see you
next
next
time
time
for Boo Roll Boys.
Phantasm, man.
You're trash, bro.